AJA Wilson isn't pleased about the growing buzz surrounding Caitlin Clark's potential move to Europe. With AJA having already pushed to be Nike's leading face, the possibility of Caitlin securing a massive overseas deal is stirring some tension, especially as it could reshape both the financial and promotional landscape of women's basketball.
Nonsense about things that Caitlin was doing wrong when, in my personal opinion, she was doing nothing but going out there and playing great basketball every night and ignoring the hate that was coming to her from all sides, not only from...
If Caitlin Clark takes her talents overseas, she'll instantly become the highest paid women's basketball player in the world, and AJA Wilson isn't thrilled. Despite being a multi-time MVP, AJA believes she should be the face of the sport, getting the biggest contracts and the most attention. But with Caitlin dominating headlines and attracting international offers, that spotlight is starting to shift, and it's not sitting well.
Wilson, 28 years old, 1,000 points in the regular season. Why is that not the biggest story out at the moment?
Exactly.
Why are we talking about Caitlin Clark?
Why when Asia was releasing a shoe, were we talking about Caitlin?
Caitlin Clark has boosted sponsorships, raised player salaries, and turned the WNBA into one of the most watched sports leagues, yet jealousy still lingers among some players. And that's exactly why she should consider leaving. Now, let's take a look at what a WNBA game looks like without Caitlin Clark.
Now commonplace where she'll go for 26 and 12. I mean, those are great numbers for any player, no matter how long you've been in the league. She's learned how to play the game, and she said, I had to learn how to play the WNBA.
AJA Wilson may see herself as the face of the league, but the truth is, the WNBA struggled to draw serious attention before Caitlin Clark arrived. Caitlin deserves to be the highest paid player, and if she takes her talents overseas, it might just be the wake-up call players like AJA need to realize what the league looks like without her.
You guys take a look at the stands. All the seats, even the courtside seats, are empty.
The possibility of Caitlin Clark signing with a European basketball league has sent shockwaves through the WNBA. Europe has long been a haven for elite talent across multiple sports, offering not only high-level competition but also significantly more lucrative contracts. For Caitlin, the financial incentives are undeniable, with overseas salaries often far surpassing those in the WNBA. A move abroad could provide both long-term financial security and a global stage to continue showcasing her dominance.
4 moved home games to bigger arenas when Indiana came to town to accommodate more fans. I'm not finished. Attendance for the entire league is up nearly 50% this year, and Indiana leads all teams with an average attendance of 17,035, up 319% from a year ago.
AJA Wilson hasn't hidden her frustration over Caitlin Clark's potential European contract, and at the core of it is money. For AJA, who has been a dominant force and cornerstone of the WNBA for years, the idea that Caitlin could earn more overseas hits hard. It's not just about financial security, it's about what that money represents. In professional sports, salary often equals status. The highest paid athletes are seen as the most valued, both on and off the court. AJA has spent years building her brand, leading her team, and representing the league. But now, she's staring down a new reality. Caitlin's meteoric rise could eclipse her legacy, not because of performance, but because of marketability and reach. For someone who's long been considered the face of the WNBA, watching the spotlight shift and the paychecks follow is a tough pill to swallow.
Went from being one of the most loved teams in the WNBA to being riddled with so much drama this season. AJA Wilson was under fire last week for the privileged comment that she made to Kelsey Plum.
But AJA Wilson's reaction to Caitlin Clark's potential move to Europe isn't just about the money. It's about the spotlight. For years, AJA has been the go-to name in women's basketball, the face of the WNBA, and a symbol of excellence in the sport. But Caitlin's meteoric rise has shifted that dynamic. The idea that Caitlin could not only out-earn her, but also command the global spotlight overseas, threatens AJA's long-held position of prominence. Being the face of the WNBA is about more than talent. It's about capturing public imagination, driving ratings, and serving as the league's global ambassador. That's a role AJA has proudly owned. But now, Caitlin's surge has sparked a new rivalry, one rooted not just in performance, but in power, visibility, and influence. The competition is no longer just on the court. It's for the future of the league itself.
Agree with it. I thought she would be unanimous. I mean, it's not even close. Because I said the most important person in the league is Caitlin Clark. And should be a top 5, if not, it should have been a top 3 MVP.
For AJA Wilson, this moment isn't just about being the best player. It's about staying relevant in a league that's evolving fast. Caitlin Clark's name is quickly becoming synonymous with the future of women's basketball, and that shift is hard to ignore. One of the most striking contrasts between AJA and Caitlin lies in how they are perceived by fans. Caitlin has rapidly built a devoted following. Her presence on social media is powerful, her games draw massive viewership, and her brand resonates far beyond the court. In a short time, she's become not just a player, but a phenomenon. AJA, despite years of success and accolades, hasn't been able to spark the same level of public loyalty. And that divide is becoming increasingly visible. So why has Caitlin captured the hearts of fans so quickly while AJA struggles to hold on to that same admiration? Part of it is timing, the thrill of new talent. Fans are always drawn to the next big thing, and Caitlin offers a fresh story, a new face, and a renewed spotlight for the league. In contrast, AJA, for all her dominance, is now being viewed not as the future, but as the past. And in the world of sports, perception can be just as powerful as performance.
You're supposed to be the MVP. You only got one win out of that series. That's why I think. Now I wonder if they had a 5-game series in the first round, there might be a possibility they may not win that series.
For AJA Wilson, the lack of fan recognition isn't just disappointing; it's deeply frustrating. She's spent years building her legacy, earning MVP titles, and dominating on the court. Yet now, she finds herself overshadowed by a player who's only just beginning her professional journey. This isn't simply about losing fans, it's about losing relevance in a league where public perception and loyalty can define a player's power, influence, and future. AJA's concern is clear. As Caitlin Clark's fanbase continues to grow, her own support may fade, leaving her in a weaker position both within the league and in the eyes of the public. Winning MVP should have cemented AJA as the face of the WNBA. Instead, she's watching as Caitlin Clark becomes the center of attention. And that shift stings. What's equally puzzling, though, is the WNBA's uneven embrace of Caitlin's rise. Despite skyrocketing viewership, increased sponsorships, and even policy changes, like the introduction of charter flights, driven in large part by her presence, Caitlin has faced noticeable resistance from within the league. Why would the WNBA hesitate to fully support the player doing the most to elevate its profile? The answer may lie in what Caitlin represents: a new era. Her arrival signals a shift in power, culture, and visibility. She challenges the status quo, and not everyone in the league is comfortable with that. For some, her rapid ascent feels like disruption. For others, it's long overdue evolution. But one thing is certain, Caitlin Clark isn't just playing the game. She's changing it. And that kind of change rarely comes without tension.
So bad they got the #1 pick. You gotta be bad to get the #1 pick. And she led them to their first 20-win season in almost a decade. She led them to the playoffs. I mean, the girl deserved the...
Her outspokenness, meteoric rise, and unapologetic push for better conditions have made Caitlin Clark a polarizing figure. To some, she's seen as a disruptor, a threat to the established order, shaking up the league faster than it's ready for. But beneath the surface, the resistance she faces is really about power. Caitlin's influence has grown so quickly that she now holds the kind of leverage most players never reach. She can make demands, shape conversations, and shift public attention. And that level of control makes people uncomfortable, especially those accustomed to managing the narrative.
LeBron James had tennis shoes in his rookie year. He didn't have a fraction of the impact on the NBA that Caitlin Clark has had on the W.
The WNBA's hesitation to fully embrace Caitlin Clark reflects a deeper tension within the league, a struggle between preserving control and empowering players to have a voice. Caitlin's impact goes far beyond the court. One of the most tangible improvements she's helped usher in is the introduction of chartered flights, a game-changing shift for player travel. Before her advocacy, WNBA athletes endured grueling commercial schedules, often leading to fatigue and subpar performance. By pushing for charter jets, Caitlin helped create a more professional, player-friendly environment that allows athletes to focus on what matters most: basketball. But her contributions didn't stop there. Caitlin has been a consistent, vocal advocate for fair compensation, improved working conditions, and elevating the overall experience for players across the league. Her willingness to challenge outdated norms and speak openly about systemic issues has positioned her as a leader, even if that leadership has made her a target. Instead of being celebrated for her efforts, Caitlin has often found herself at the center of controversy. Some within the league, including AJA Wilson, see her assertiveness as a disruption to the established order, a challenge to the way things have always been done. This divide has created a growing rift between those who embrace Caitlin's vision for a more modern, player-first WNBA and those who view her rise as a threat to the status quo. Yet, despite the resistance, Caitlin continues to push forward, not just for herself, but for the future of the league as a whole.
Clark, #1 in jersey sales, Angel Reese 2, Sabrina 3, Kate Martin 4. We talked about this earlier in the season. I feel sad that Kate Martin also hasn't gotten as much playing time the second half of the season. I feel like she deserves more, or maybe she deserves a different team. How crazy would that be if she went to Indiana? Just
one of the WNBA's biggest concerns if Caitlin Clark heads to Europe is the potential hit to viewership. She's quickly become one of the league's biggest draws, with fans tuning in specifically to watch her play. Her dynamic style, coupled with a strong personal connection to her audience, has made her a ratings magnet. When Caitlin's on the court, numbers surge, but when she's not, the drop in viewership is hard to ignore. If Caitlin Clark were to leave the WNBA for Europe, the league wouldn't just lose a star player, it would lose a major portion of its audience. Her unmatched ability to draw viewers has become a cornerstone of the league's recent growth. Without her, that momentum could stall, leaving a void that may be difficult, if not impossible, to fill. For a league still working to expand its fan base and increase visibility, losing Caitlin could be a serious setback. But the impact wouldn't stop at the league level. Individual players, including AJA Wilson, would likely feel the effects as well. With fewer eyes on games, sponsorships and endorsement deals could decline, directly affecting player earnings and limiting opportunities to grow their personal brands.
The paying customer, the audience didn't feel that way. They did not give a damn about the WNBA. Is that fair to the ladies? No, it isn't fair. But they're the paying customer. You don't tell them what they want, they tell you what they want. And they really were not feeling the WNBA to the degree that they're feeling the WNBA now, obviously because of Caitlin Clark.
AJA Wilson, who has already voiced frustration over Caitlin Clark's rapid rise, could find herself in an even tougher position if Caitlin leaves the WNBA and takes a significant portion of the audience, with her. AJA's concerns extend beyond the court and into the world of endorsements, particularly with Nike. As a longtime Nike athlete, she's spent years building her brand and solidifying her place as one of the company's marquee faces. Meanwhile, despite Caitlin's skyrocketing popularity and undeniable influence on the league's visibility, Nike has been hesitant to fully embrace her. That hesitation stems largely from the controversy surrounding Caitlin's presence in the WNBA, controversy that, ironically, has only heightened her profile. For AJA, this isn't just about money, it's about recognition, power, and staying at the center of the conversation. Endorsements aren't just income streams, they shape public image and amplify a player's platform. Nike's reluctance to go all in on Caitlin highlights a larger challenge brands face: how to support rising talent without stepping into league politics or alienating established stars. And for AJA, the balancing act feels personal, especially if Caitlin's next move shifts the spotlight even further away from her.
Is expected of Caitlin Clark. She's supposed to be great. She's not the Rookie of the Year. Angel Reese is, because that's a surprise, which to me is wrong. Should LeBron not have won the Rookie of the Year because he was supposed to?
Despite her efforts to elevate the WNBA, Caitlin Clark has faced unexpected backlash, not just from within the league, but from some of her fellow players. This resistance raises a deeper question. Why is someone who has done so much for the sport so misunderstood? From the outside, it's hard to see the controversy. Caitlin has increased viewership, improved conditions for players, and become a powerful advocate for the league's future. By most measures, she's been a net positive for the WNBA. And yet, hostility lingers. Part of the tension stems from how quickly she's risen. Many players spend years grinding for the kind of attention Caitlin has earned in just months. For veterans like AJA Wilson, who've long carried the league and built their brands through consistency and hard work, Caitlin's meteoric rise can feel more like a threat than a win for the sport. Now, with a potential move to Europe on the table, Caitlin faces a turning point, both personally and professionally. Overseas, she would gain financial stability, escape the growing friction, and expand her global reach. But her departure wouldn't come without cost. For the WNBA, losing Caitlin could mean more than losing a star. It could mean losing momentum, marketability, and a key connection to a rapidly growing fan base, the very foundation she helped strengthen.
Regardless of whatever noise has been out there. So when you show that you're able to perform in the face of adversity, to me, that is the true testament to greatness. And that's why we're looking at her and we're saying greatness is on.
Losing Caitlin Clark could trigger a sharp decline in viewership and fan engagement, putting the WNBA's recent momentum at serious risk. Her decision has the potential to shift the balance of power in women's basketball, with Europe positioning itself as a new destination for elite talent. Now, the WNBA faces a critical choice: adapt and improve player conditions to retain rising stars, or watch more of them follow Caitlin's lead overseas. Her next move won't just affect her own career, it will help shape the future of the league and redefine what success looks like for the next generation of players. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. More content is on screen now, don't miss it.